What's up, you guys? Alright, what is today? The 14th of March, I think? Yeah, Tuesday morning, March 14, local time is 4:10 in the morning. We are currently eastbound on Interstate 90 in Wisconsin. We're on our way to make a delivery at the Walmart distribution center up here in Tomah, which will be, we're 15 miles out right now. This is that cross-dock load that I picked up in Colton. If you guys saw my last delivery video in Victorville, I know not the most number of people watched it so far, but I don't know. I know a good number of you guys did at least, but you might have gotten that update that I was on my way down to Colton to pick up a Walmart load coming to here. So I'm going to make the delivery. You might notice my voice not doing so great right now. I'll tell you what, it's been a rough trip all the way. The name of this video, yeah, very fitting. Under the weather, but not in it. Yeah. Well, actually, I was in the weather on the way down to Colton. It actually took 2 hours to get from Victorville to Colton because of traffic problems. And I cannot tell a lie there. You guys know I'm from California. California drivers, unfortunately, in general, I always say they're the worst in the country. And they're even worse when there's rain. There are always all kinds of accidents when there's rain or anything else going on the roads. So I know there was an incident kind of close to the top of the Cajon Pass on the Hesperia side of it. I think there were 2 Hondas and a pickup that all hooked up right there by the Oakville Road exit. That caused problems. Had more problems down in the pass. Another one down on the 215 freeway on the way down there. So it was not a fun time trying to get down there. Then I go to pick up my load. There's some funny shenanigans there. No, the load wasn't ready to go right away, but it wasn't extremely late either. I got out of there around 1930-ish. I had a dockyard time of 1800. Now, let's see if this guy catches up now. Alright, so I'm going to have to talk about this one too a bit, but anyway, dockyard, I'm in front of my trailer, and Walmart, the shipping office calls to tell me bills are ready. I'm like, how are my bills already ready when my door light is still red and glad hand lock is still installed? Normally it goes the other way, where the loader, as soon as they're done unloading me, they'll come out and turn the door light green, or actually they'll come out and pull the glad hand lock first. Then they go back in the building and turn the door light green, and then they go and take my bills over to the other side, where they eventually call me up and say I'm ready. Well, that never happened. So just one of the funny shenanigans, I guess, that goes on there. Nice high beams there. Now then, on the way out of there, it's a little bit more light in here for the interior camera. So anyway, get out of there, and oh my God, I had another trucker in front of me on Agua Mansa Road. on the way out. This is a 45 zone road. This dude was only doing 25, 30. But granted, there were a couple spots where it kind of be justified that he was going that slow, but you know, because of puddles. But generally, no, he going extra slow for no good reason. Then we get up to the to where the on-ramp is at. Didn't swing very wide, so yeah, when he made the turn, his tandems went up onto the curb. I'm like, yeah, if you'd stayed far all the way to the left side of your lane, of the lane we were in, I wouldn't have that problem. Well, Colton Pass also was having traffic delays as well on the northbound side at that hour. So normally I would have taken I-15 all the way up to I-80 and taken 80 across to Des Moines and take I-35 up to 90. Well, that route was expecting snow, so I didn't want to deal with it. And decided I'd rather take 40, but I couldn't get up to 40 because the traffic delays, and I was like, I'm feeling like shit, and the last thing I want to deal with is a bunch of idiots in traffic. So I ended up just taking I-10, and even then I couldn't avoid the traffic. I couldn't win for losing. Eventually got down to where I stopped in Salome, Arizona, exit 45. I was hoping to get to Holbrook by the end of my shift, but by then so much time had got burnt, I didn't have enough 11-hour clock where I was even going to reach Holbrook. So I was either going to have to stop in like Phoenix area, one of the truck stops, or stop at, you know, like some kind of makeshift spots along State Route 87 or, you know, one of the other highways, maybe over on the way up to Payson or Heber, Overguard, Arizona. So I ended up just shut down in Salome. It only got me maybe a couple hundred miles, or no, yeah, not even 300 mile shift out of that because all that crap. God, I was so glad to be done with that shift. But then add in the fact that got all this going on too, sore throat, bronchitis. I was a little bit dizzy, which is a symptom of hypoxia. A couple cops hanging out there. Yeah, it was not fun. Yeah, I was concerned that I wasn't going to be able to run very many miles without having to stop for rest or whatever. Ended up though, just kind of been running 8.2 or 7.3 splits most of the way up here. You know, where I can just rest here or there. And when it went out the boy, we're 3.5 miles out from our turn. We're gonna head west on Interstate 94 when we get up here. I-94 basically goes back up toward the more northern part of Minnesota and ends up going right through Minneapolis, St. Paul. Alright. Needless to say though, it's because of the way I've been feeling, it's just been a pain. You know, what's weird though also is even at one point when I was only 1,175 or so miles out, our weekend dispatcher, or the weekend dispatcher who covers my truck, he asked me if I'm okay for OTD. And I know they don't ask that unless their system is projecting me late or tight on my schedule. So I go, yeah, I'm good for OTD. I was like, why, is your system projecting me late or something? He goes, yeah, it's showing late, that's why I'm asking. Like, I don't know why, because I'm only 11:75 out. I can do it in 2 shifts, and I'll be there Monday evening. whatever. When even after I got to Edgerton, Kansas, stopped at the TA Express there in Edgerton, Kansas, and before I started driving this morning, I asked my DM, my regular DM, if I was still projecting late, or if I was on time, because now I was only 540 miles out, and I was like, surely this can't be showing me late. Now, mind you, I started this trip with a fresh 70-hour clock, so you can't tell me that because I'm at a 70-hour clock to work with. Well, turned out she was still projecting me late, but found out it's because doesn't know how to deal with 7-3 splits, apparently. I hadn't even finished my break. I was going to do a 7-3. Supposedly I could use either of these lanes, but at least that's what my Google's suggesting. It's been a bit since I've only been here a few times, and I forget. Just in case I'm going to use it, because I do need to be on the left side. Just don't know if, I need this lane right here, so. Alright. Speaking of, by the way, this guy back behind me, okay, I'm going to give you guys who are running governed trucks and don't have a lot of experience some advice, alright? If your truck's not any faster than someone else's truck, if you're only going to be running like maybe a mile or at most 2 miles an hour faster than them, don't waste your time trying to go around. Well, maybe 2 miles, I might do, but if your speed's within 1 mile an hour of their speed, don't try to go around them. It's going to take forever to get around them. In fact, as it turned out, this guy that was back there, so the very first exit up here is industrial. We're going to be getting off there. Anyway, there was one point in time where he somehow caught up to me. I think it was because of the hill slowed me down, but only from 70 to 67 or so miles an hour, whereas he kept his speed up. But then once I got my truck back up to speed when I was cresting the hill, because, mind you, none of these hills are long enough for him to sustain getting around me. So it didn't take long before I'm cresting the hill and back up to speed. And and the next thing you know, he's stuck beside me. He got at most just a little bit past my door. His door just a little bit past mine. But he couldn't get any further ahead, right? And it only got to that point because of a couple of hills slowed me to allow him to get to that point. But once I got back up to speed, just kind of slowly working his way back behind me again. Then eventually gets to where he drops back. He gets to where my, about to where his headlights could get into my rear view mirror, and decides to high beam me. Turns his high beams on and leaves them on, kind of his way of showing that he's pissed off at me for not letting them get by me. I was like, you know what? You're the asshole too. Why should I have to slow down for your ass? Hey, I don't mind doing it if someone's going to be that stubborn and they're holding other people up. And there was one car that did show up, but at the same time, he was a little bit slower than me on the flat. So, I mean, even if only by half a mile an hour. So, it's like, no, I'm not giving in on this. So he ends up finally dropping back behind me. All right, well, this is one of those cases. Know what the situation is. If you're going to pass a guy who's, damn well is faster than you, or at least is at the same speed as you, and you're going up a hill and there's a good chance that that's the reason why they're slower than you at the time, don't try to pass them. Wait until you get to the top of the hill. Figure out what speed they're going to run first. Once you know what speed they're going to run, if they're still slower than you after they've crested the hill, then make your move. But don't make that move unless you can get past them in a reasonable amount of time too. You know, generally, if it takes you more than a mile to get around them, you probably should just stay behind them. You're not going to make any difference there. You know, it's not going to impact your time getting to wherever you're trying to get. Trust me on that. Alright, we are going to turn left right here. Now, as you see here, they do have a staging area. I don't know what this guy is doing. I think he's in line to check in. But this is one of the few Walmart DCs there are out there that has their own staging lot. I thought about coming here to park over, you know, when I had enough clock to get over here myself. But yeah, because I could have been here several hours ago. But I ended up just choosing to stay at the Loves in St. Charles, Minnesota. And figured, you know, I'll just kick back there and I'll just run it in when it's time to deliver. Alright guys, we are done checking in here. We're going to be docking into door 17. So apparently they got a different, they have a special way of doing things when it's cold outside or whatever bad. It's only 12 degrees right now. I got down to like 5 or 7 degrees earlier. Might notice I'm still wearing shorts. Like that. Like I don't really care that much. Now, if you guys kind of wonder, now how the hell are you able to wear shorts in this weather? Well, it's, you know, I do feel the cold on my legs, but it doesn't bother my legs like it does my core. Yeah, as long as my core is covered up, you know, as long as I'm not out there in it for too long, it's perfectly fine. It doesn't, yeah, it's, I don't know, it's, in fact, I can, yeah, if I have good amount of covering on my core, you know, where my main body is feeling just fine, I could practically care less if my legs are cold. Now, I wouldn't want to sleep like that, but still, what are you doing? It's a 15 zone. This guy, well, it's not wide enough lane here for me to sneak around him. I get a feeling he's trying to avoid using drive time, but I'm in yard move status, so I don't really give a shit. That's not going to use my drive clock, and honestly, I'm going to end my shift in conjunction with this delivery anyway. Well, let's figure out where this guy's going. I don't know. He's probably going to those doors over on that side as well, but he's already starting to come over to this side. Like, there's a possibility he might be docking in over on this side. I don't know. Normally, I don't have... Usually this is drive-in side, though, not reefer. So, let's just get it by him. I'm going to turn off my headlights because you see this guy up ahead trying to dock in. I don't want to have my headlights shining right at him while he's trying to do his thing. Okay, so because of the weather, the lady at the guard shack told me stay hooked up to my trailer. Still going to dolly down and chalk my tire, but let's see if I can get around him real quick. Because 17 is going to be, should be over here, not far from this guy over here. yeah, I'm gonna have room for a straight back set. I'm gonna be right next to the personnel, the stairs and all that. So I can go ahead and get backed up toward my door all the way before, most all the way before I even get my doors open. And I can do it in a way where I'm not in anybody's way of doing it all too. Yeah, that's another thing that drives me nuts. People docking in, they leave their door, they block the entire, the lane so nobody can go by so they can open their doors. Let's see. Come on. My tandem's over there a little further. Alright. Hang on. Where you trying to dock in at? So I need to get my doors open, but I want to see where this guy is trying to go. See, that's the thing, a little bit of courtesy for other people. I need to get my doors open, but I don't need to block him to do it. I can always wait till he's out of the way. Now I gotta figure out what this guy's doing. Alright. RJS got radio on. Or MTS, whatever. So this kind of blew up on my face there, but normally it doesn't end up like that. Of course, I could have also stayed up that way and opened my doors from over there as well. I'm going to go ahead and get them now. Alright guys, we are empty now. 7:14 local time. I thought I was going to get called to go in there because the very back row of pallets, the left side pallet was a stack of asparagus. The containers that they put those things in, for some reason they're always kind of a pain in the ass to deal with. Where they kind of, it's easy for them to shift because of the way they're designed. And I've actually had to go in there at other Walmart DCs and restack those myself. Like 5 or 6 pallets full of those things, and we're talking like 200 cases of asparagus on even one pallet. I thought I was going to have to do the same thing again this morning, but surprisingly, no, they took care of everything. I don't know if they were able to keep it okay as it was, or they just took care of the dirty work that other Walmart DCs won't do. But I was relieved when that happened. Wasn't expecting it. Alright, so what's going on next here? We got, I'm going to have a couple of new customers I do have a pre-planned. Oh man. So next load is going to be picking up in Champaign, Illinois. I can't remember the name of my customer over there, but that's where I'll be picking up. And the load will be going to Jacksonville, Florida. So I have been to some customers in Jacksonville before, but I don't think I've been to the one that the load's going to. I'll have to double check my records, so I don't know for sure. OTR left lane, okay. When we get to that point, we'll talk about that then in a different video. Hello.
All right. Thank you.
I'm gonna pull ahead since there's a truck coming up behind me. Still need to close my doors. To check the inside, but I can get my doors shut without being in the way of the other truck. So I'm going to slide it over to here in this little center spot. Probably going to go ahead and I might even just park right here in the staging lot and do a full 10-hour break, finish doing a 10-hour break whenever, and then alright, so as I was saying here, I'm going to just go ahead and park here in the staging lot, finish my 10-hour break, because you just couldn't wait, right? Fucking idiots. I'm going to be a dick and I'm going to park next to you just to be an ass. Hopefully I'm close enough where you can't get your doors shut. That would be ideal. Okay. I really don't give a fuck if Nah, he's gonna have room, but he wants to be an ass and do it right here. I mean, go around me when I'm already starting to pull away. Fuck him. Alright, anyway. Yeah, as I mentioned, we'll be picking up in Champaign, Illinois next. First time I'll be first time at any customer in Champaign for me, so be a new experience, a new video for you, alright? That's what we'll be doing on the next video, alright? So and that picks up tomorrow morning. So hopefully within a day or two after you see this video, you'll hopefully see that one. Alright, y'all have a great day. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you on the next one.